There are places in this world where the more we uncover, the more questions we have, instead of answers. Some structures were built from stone blocks, weighing dozens of tons, fitted together with astonishing precision, yet even today, no one knows how they were built. There are caves where forests continue to grow, clouds still form, and life goes on deep beneath the Earth's surface. Yet no one has ever found a definitive answer to why they were built. Even today, many mysteries are still waiting to be explained. Today, we'll begin a journey to explore some of the most mysterious places on Earth, where history, nature, and the unexplained exist side by side. Defying all conventional construction rules, the grand superstructure of Prambanan contains ancient architectural codes that modern science is still struggling to decode. The most peculiar feature of this monumental work lies in the dry assembly method, using rough and heavy andesite volcanic stone blocks. Without a single drop of mortar or adhesive, the main stone tower, rising 155 feet, still stands proudly, thanks to absolute gravitational balance. That transcendental mechanical thinking helped the core temple survive miraculously against the destructive power of the 6.3 magnitude major earthquake in 2006. A dramatic contrast occurs as hundreds of auxiliary temples were collapsed by external forces, yet the central structure remained completely unmoved. This phenomenon reinforces the hypothesis of an intelligent stepped foundation system capable of automatically dissipating seismic shock waves from the ground. The mysticism reaches its peak when night falls, exposing the ground plan in the shape of a sacred mandala layout that emits a faint phosphorescent glow. Hidden deep within the misty Kedu Valley, the Borobudur megastructure holds a massive archaeological mystery that puzzles modern scientists. This giant stone pyramid, weighing over 3.5 million tons, uses absolutely no cement or mortar to secure its structure. Ancient builders meticulously carved 2 million volcanic stone blocks into precise interlocking joints, so they would tightly bind together. The strangest thing is that such a heavy monument was placed directly on top of a soft sand and mud hill. According to geological calculations, that immense weight should have collapsed the temple long ago, yet the load distribution system remains stable. When climbing to the top 3 circular terraces, visitors are stunned by a system of 72 hollow stone stupas shaped like bells. This number 72 perfectly matches the astronomical constant for the 1-degree shift of Earth's axis due to precession. The intersection between this highly advanced mandala mathematical structure and cosmic measurements has turned this place into an unsolved code. Opening the journey to explore mysterious lands, the ancient city of Teotihuacan rises from a dry valley, like a gigantic geometric puzzle that has challenged scientists for centuries. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, this city, covering nearly 8 square miles in a grid layout, was carefully aligned with the movements of the Sun and the Pleiades star cluster. Even though it was home to more than 100,000 people during its golden age, from the 1st century to the 5th century, the city strangely had no defensive walls. When the Aztecs discovered this abandoned city in the 14th century, they were so amazed that they named it Teotihuacan, meaning the place where people become gods. Its most remarkable feature is the stone stairways that work like a natural sound filter, turning the sound of a visitor's clap into the clear call of a bird echoing from the top of the pyramid, a mystery that scientists still cannot fully explain. As we leave behind the land of shimmering silver rivers, our next journey will take us to another wild place where nature has created its own strange laws of physics. Cappadocia conceals extraordinary mushroom-shaped rock pillars formed from volcanic ash deposits more than 490 feet thick, covering an area roughly equal to 5,000 standard football fields. The distinctive tuff stone possesses an unusual property, remaining soft enough for carving with simple tools before hardening into remarkably durable rock when exposed to open air. A vast underground city beneath the rocky landscape descends through dozens of levels, providing enough space to shelter more than 20,000 people, together with their livestock. The underground passageways feature ingenious circular stone doors weighing about 1 ton, designed to move easily from inside while blocking every attempt at outside intrusion. Rock-carved churches still preserve remarkable paintings dating to the 10th century, created with natural minerals whose brilliant colors continue resisting the relentless passage of time. The landscape displays a surreal beauty as towering cliffs change color beneath the sunlight, transforming the entire region into a living library, preserving humanity's countless untold stories. Son Doong preserves pristine limestone formations, dating from about 2 million to 5 million years ago, creating a magnificent landscape throughout the world's largest natural cave system. Deep inside the mountain, towering stalagmites rise nearly 260 feet high, evoking an ancient world seemingly untouched by human footsteps, exploration, or civilization. Thousands of cave pearls about the size of baseballs lie scattered across the cavern floor, formed through the slow accumulation of calcium over millions of years in complete darkness. Beams of sunlight stream directly through openings above, illuminating a naturally thriving rainforest and revealing the extraordinary resilience of rare plant species flourishing beneath the earth. The hidden ecosystem shelters unique colorless creatures without eyesight, providing remarkable evidence of perfect adaptation to an environment completely isolated from the outside world. Son Doong preserves such profound silence that visitors can clearly sense their own heartbeat, making this one of the planet's most mysterious places, still not fully understood by humanity. Cahokia Mounds preserves the remains of the greatest ancient city ever known in North America, where tens of thousands of people once lived before mysteriously disappearing from history. The enormous earthen mounds were built by hand, using millions of baskets filled with soil, enough material to fill more than 100 standard football stadiums. These monumental structures demonstrate the remarkable engineering skills of an ancient civilization, even though its builders never used metal tools or wheeled transportation during construction. The entire complex is carefully aligned with the sunrise during the summer and winter solstices, achieving a level of astronomical precision comparable to many modern observatories. Archaeological discoveries of mass graves reveal evidence of numerous brutal sacrificial ceremonies, exposing a haunting and unsettling side of ancient political authority and religious beliefs. The inhabitants maintained an extensive trade network, demonstrated by the discovery of materials such as copper and seashells transported from places more than 1,000 miles away. Deep within the Indian subcontinent, the Kailasa Temple appears as an ultimate marvel, sculpted from a single colossal stone. Without a single brick joint or binding material, the entire massive structure is an unbroken and intact block of rock. The most eccentric feature of this masterpiece is the reverse construction process from the mountaintop down 98 feet into the ground. Exceptional spatial geometric thinking helped the ancients completely eliminate all errors during 2 decades of chiseling. Even more astonishingly, a massive volume of basalt rock weighing up to 400,000 tons vanished without a trace after being excavated. The perfection of the underground drainage system cut through hard rock still keeps this place bone dry after heavy downpours. Even the tyrannical Mughal emperor and his army of 1,000 men stood helpless against the absolute sturdiness of the temple. Lalibela features a remarkable complex of monolithic rock churches, carved from the top downward, created directly inside pits, about 40 feet deep, using only simple hand tools. This architectural masterpiece was carved from solid volcanic basalt, demanding extraordinary precision without relying upon any concrete reinforced columns or supporting structural beams. This magnificent construction was completed in about 24 years, leaving sacred worship spaces adorned with smooth, intricate carvings sculpted directly into the living volcanic rock. A network of deep trenches and underground tunnels links the architectural complexes, creating an ingenious subterranean city designed for drainage while protecting the monuments from natural erosion. These resilient basalt structures have endured for about 900 years, standing as remarkable evidence of an advanced architectural achievement that remains only partly understood today. The rock churches serve as living museums, preserving the mystery of extraordinary ancient engineering, where beams of sunlight passing through narrow windows create a deeply sacred atmosphere. Standing alone on the windy Andes Plateau at an elevation of nearly 12,630 feet, the Tiwanaku and Pumapunku complex appears like a mechanical construction site of ancient gods that was suddenly abandoned. This remarkable place contains extremely hard andesite stones that were cut into perfectly smooth surfaces and carved into sharp right angles, with mechanical precision measured in thousandths of an inch, leading scientists to question whether an ancient plant-based acid could have softened stones weighing as much as 144 tons. Even more astonishing, the tiny grooves only 0.16 inches wide, and the perfectly aligned small drill holes carved into the hard stone could not have been made with simple bronze tools, but seem possible only with the precision mechanical drills of the 21st century. The greatest mystery is that the massive stone harbor stands alone in the middle of a dry desert, about 12 miles away from the nearest lake, a distance that slow geological changes could not have created so quickly. The scattered H-shaped stone blocks and the underground wall decorated with hundreds of strange carved faces will lead us onward to the next mysterious destination. Hidden in one of the driest deserts of Peru, the ancient Puquios water system amazes visitors with its deep spiral structures that challenge ordinary logic. The unique stone funnel design, with an opening about 50 feet wide that gradually narrows toward the bottom, works like a highly advanced natural aerodynamic pumping system. As the desert wind passes through these funnels, the sudden change in air pressure creates a powerful force that continuously pushes underground water through the tunnels. The wisdom of the ancient builders has amazed scientists even more, because satellite studies show that the entire system is perfectly aligned with underground geological fault lines. This remarkable alignment allowed them to locate underground water pockets buried dozens of feet below the surface without using any modern detection equipment. This magnificent water system has operated successfully for more than 1,500 years and remains one of the greatest mysteries of the engineering skills of a lost civilization. Known as the Stonehenge of the Near East, the 5,000-year-old monument of Rujum el-Hiri is almost invisible from the ground, but reveals a gigantic circular maze when viewed from the sky. Standing alone on a windy plateau of black volcanic rock, this ancient wonder amazes visitors with 5 concentric stone circles built from volcanic rocks and stretching more than 500 feet across. Strangely, although powerful winds roar across the plateau outside, stepping into the center of the monument brings you into a world of deep silence that feels almost unsettling. This remarkable sound-reducing effect naturally turned the central stone mound into a giant soundproof chamber, allowing the voices of prehistoric shamans to echo with extraordinary clarity. Even more astonishing is the time gap of 1,500 years, because the burial chamber at the center was built long after the outer stone circles had already been abandoned. Could it be that an unknown tribe transformed this ancient observatory into the burial place of a great leader? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Vanishing mysteriously after a catastrophic deluge, the ancient capital of Liangzhu represents a haunting and unusual hydrological world. Amidst a swampland spanning 740 acres, ancient people built no roads at all, but instead established a dense network of canals. Prehistoric inhabitants here traveled and traded entirely by boat, through a unique system of 8 water gates controlling the entire city. The greatest marvel lies in the oldest water management system on the planet, which witnessed humans moving over 101 million cubic feet of earth and stone across the valleys. These ancient engineers wrapped clay into millions of tightly woven straw bags to construct dams that remain solid despite the passage of time. To this day, the durability of this bioconcrete structure, along with the eerie god-face symbols carved onto jade blocks, remains completely unexplained. The ancient city of Polonnaruwa in Sri Lanka hides ancient stone structures that can absorb moisture at night when the dew falls. The abnormality also lies in the Parakrama Sea, a massive artificial water reservoir spanning 9.6 square miles from the 12th century. The natural release of water vapor during the day helps the inner core of the brickwork structures stay completely dry. This unique design keeps the water flow from evaporating under the intense heat that frequently exceeds 95 degrees Fahrenheit here. The perfect combination of sustainable irrigation technology and self-cooling architecture is still waiting for scientists to decode. Perched precariously on the sheer cliffs of the majestic Andes, the ancient city of Machu Picchu harbors an unprecedented architectural mystery that confounds modern scientists. Amidst a region that receives over 80 inches of rainfall annually, the most miraculous aspect is that over 60% of the entire structure actually lies hidden deep underground. Ancient Inca engineers were incredibly genius in designing a complex foundation network comprised of rock debris, sand, and massive subterranean drainage channels. This invisible underground system functions as a natural filter, eliminating all surface runoff pressure and protecting the wonder from devastating mudslides. Going even further, this entire monument was constructed directly on top of two highly active seismic fault lines. Thanks to the unique, mortarless, dry stone technique, massive granite blocks weighing up to over 20 tons will automatically shift and jolt with the tremors before falling precisely back into place. The flawless combination of an underground drainage city and a self-healing structure during earthquakes has allowed this sanctuary in the clouds to stand firm for over 500 years. Easter Island is a volcanic landmass located about 2,300 miles from the mainland, captivating the world with archaeological mysteries that have never been fully solved. The island is home to nearly 900 colossal monolithic stone statues, many with their lower bodies deeply buried beneath the ground, and their faces directed toward the center of the island. These statues can weigh up to 82 US tons and stand about 33 feet tall, having been carved entirely with handheld stone tools by the island's ancient inhabitants. To transport these enormous stone figures across the island, the inhabitants cut down virtually all of their trees, directly causing the complete collapse of the natural ecosystem. The result is a barren landscape of rolling hills covered only with short grass, surrounded by towering black cliffs that are constantly battered by powerful ocean waves. Beyond its famous statues, the island also preserves a unique writing system carved onto wooden tablets that scientists around the world have still been unable to decipher. Lake Toba is the remnant of a supervolcanic eruption that occurred about 74,000 years ago, a catastrophic geological event that completely transformed life across Earth. Reaching a depth of more than 1,640 feet, the lake would completely swallow the world's tallest Burj Khalifa beneath its surface, without leaving any part visible. Beneath the lake, magma continues moving quietly below the surface, reminding humanity that the ancient volcanic giant is merely sleeping rather than being permanently extinguished forever. After the devastating eruption, archaeological evidence suggests that a small group of people survived here against extraordinary odds, eventually becoming the ancestors of modern humanity. The calm lake reflects the sky so perfectly that observers struggle to distinguish the horizon, separating the deep blue water from the vast surrounding atmosphere. This remarkable place stands as the greatest living evidence of Earth's continual transformation, reminding humanity of the unpredictable destructive power hidden beneath seemingly peaceful layers of rock. Lying 130 feet beneath the floor of the Pacific Ocean, the Yonaguni Monument is a massive rock formation that has sparked one of the most mysterious and fascinating geological debates in the modern world. This enormous sandstone formation stretches about 490 feet in length, impressing visitors with its sharp right angles and countless perfectly flat stone terraces stacked with remarkable precision. The striking symmetry of its geometric shapes has led many scholars to believe it may be the central ruins of the legendary Mu civilization, long buried beneath the ocean. In contrast, geologists maintain that the entire landscape was formed naturally as powerful ocean currents continuously eroded existing rock fractures over millions of years. Because no everyday tools or artifacts have ever been discovered nearby, the Japanese government still does not officially recognize this complex underwater formation as a national cultural heritage site. Even so, diving through its narrow stone passageways with visibility reaching 100 feet offers an overwhelming sense of exploring an underwater world that challenges the limits of human understanding. Waitomo glowworm caves conceal a breathtaking biological galaxy where thousands of soft blue lights transform the underground darkness into a mysterious night sky shimmering with enchanting brilliance. Arachnocampa luminosa larvae suspend millions of nearly invisible poisonous silk threads, creating a mesmerizing yet deadly trap for every small insect that accidentally drifts into their reach. The combined glow from thousands of these tiny creatures brightly illuminates pristine stalactites, completely replacing the need for artificial lighting throughout the underground exploration experience. This cave system, formed from fossilized marine sediments about 30 million years ago, preserving remarkable traces of an ancient ocean that disappeared across countless geological ages. The magical light, produced by this unique endemic glowworm, creates an unmatched emerald green radiance, giving the caves a primitive beauty found almost nowhere else on Earth. The dazzling beauty here is built upon nature's relentless struggle for survival, where life and death intertwine within an eternal display of silent, glowing light. Nan Madol is the only ancient city in the world, built entirely from massive stone blocks, directly on the surface of an offshore coral reef. The entire complex required more than 826,000 US tons of hexagonal basalt stone, carefully stacked together without using any binding mortar. That enormous quantity of stone created more than 100 artificial islands, separated from one another, yet tightly connected by countless flooded canals. Even more astonishing, many stone blocks weighing as much as 50 US tons were raised to a height of 25 feet, even though the builders had neither pulleys nor wheels. Today, these enormous ruins are gradually being overtaken by mangrove forests, whose massive roots slowly penetrate and break apart the ancient stone walls. Deeply hidden behind the 250 feet high vertical basalt cliff of a winding gorge, Ajanta caves possess a geological structure carved entirely by hand, from the ceiling to the floor. This majestic complex did not use a single joint brick or mortar, as all the columns and giant Buddha statues are seamless from a solid volcanic rock. The most inexplicable thing is that millions of tons of heavy raw earth and stone, after being carved out of the mountain, completely vanished without a trace, leaving no waste piles. Using primitive tools, ancient people calculated precisely the entire complex architectural layout in their minds before striking the first hammer blows from the top of the mountain. A single small mistake in force or carving direction on the stone ceiling could completely collapse the structure, destroying 400 years of persistent labor across many generations. Until now, scientists possessing advanced laser scanners still cannot understand how those craftsmen maintained perfect symmetrical proportions in the dark. That mystery deepens when the early morning sunlight during the winter solstice shines straight through the cave entrance, brightly illuminating the stone face of the deepest statue. Amid the desolate sand dunes of eastern India, the Konark Sun Temple rises majestically like a colossal stone chariot with an immensely grand astronomical architecture. The uniqueness of this 13th century structure lies in its system of 24 stone wheels, with a diameter of up to 9.8 feet. What astounds scientists is that these wheels function like a solar clock, accurate to the exact minute. By observing the shadows cast by the spokes onto the stone walls, ancient people calculated the time perfectly. This distinctiveness transforms the temple into an invaluable archaeological masterpiece, where mathematical knowledge is tightly integrated with native beliefs. The mystery deepens as legends say the original tower peak contained a huge 57.3-ton magnet to make the statue of the god float. This very unusual magnetic force disrupted the compasses of Western ships, turning this into a highly dangerous sea region. Kawa Ijen contains a volcanic crater lake with an extremely acidic pH of about 0.5, making it far more corrosive than the powerful acid found inside automobile batteries. Sulfur gases escaping through rocky fractures continuously crystallize into brilliant yellow deposits, forming extraordinary mineral structures often called the unique and precious flowers of hell. The landscape surrounding the volcanic crater remains completely barren, where no plants can survive across gray rock surfaces and thick sulfur deposits covering the entire area. The brilliant blue fire seen here is actually burning sulfur gas igniting upon contact with oxygen, creating one of the rarest glowing natural light displays on Earth. The mystery behind the flame's remarkable color remains only partly understood, because this pure blue glow differs completely from the fiery appearance of other volcanoes around the world. This extraordinary place possesses surreal beauty, mixed with constant danger, where ancient geological forces quietly continue shaping some of the most mysterious natural wonders on Earth. If you think the age of ancient astronomical machines has already ended, the former Georgia Guidestones will amaze you with their unbelievable precision. Spread across a windy 5-acre field, this massive granite monument, weighing 237,746 pounds, was designed as a giant cosmic computer powered entirely by sunlight. Its most remarkable feature is the towering central stone, where the builders carved a narrow angled slot pointing directly toward the sky to keep the North Star perfectly in view throughout every season. Once every year, the bright sunrise on the winter solstice shines through this opening and divides the stone structure in half, marking the changing of the seasons with perfect accuracy. Even more remarkable, the massive capstone contains a tiny hole only 7/8 of an inch wide, allowing sunlight to pass through and strike the stone base at exactly 12 noon, creating a natural timekeeper. The remarkable astronomical alignment of this stone machine amazed scientists and made it one of the most controversial geographical mysteries before it was demolished. The sudden disappearance of the stone monument after the shocking explosion has only made its mystery even more fascinating. But what do you think was the true purpose of the people who created this extraordinary machine? Mesa Verde conceals magnificent cliff cities, nestled deep within towering rock alcoves, where thousands of people once lived inside one of North America's most sophisticated architectural systems. These ancient homes were built from sturdy stone and mud, remaining standing for about 800 years, despite relentless weathering and the harsh effects of time and nature. Ancient builders shaped stone with astonishing precision, measured to tiny fractions of an inch, accomplishing this remarkable achievement without metal tools or any form of modern machinery. The entire architectural complex was designed according to the positions of constellations, transforming these cliff dwellings into a vast and deeply mysterious astronomical blueprint. Everyday objects such as pottery and woven fibers remain remarkably well preserved inside empty rooms, creating the uncanny impression that their owners departed only a short time ago. Around the year 1300, this flourishing society suddenly abandoned its homes and valuable possessions, without leaving behind any written record or convincing explanation for its disappearance. Rising from the darkness at a depth of 15 feet beneath the mounds of Xi'an, a giant ceramic army has completely overturned all modern archaeological thinking. The unique nature of this wonder lies in the fact that over 8,000 statues possess completely distinct anthropological features. Every line on the cheekbones, the structure of the hair, and the expression in the eyes were meticulously sculpted without a single duplication. That bone-chilling realism leads researchers to believe that this is a collection of real-life soldiers modeled from reality. Even more astonishingly, the accompanying bronze sword blades still maintain perfect sharpness after 2,200 years of being buried in the mud. This ultimate rust resistance proves the existence of a surface treatment technology that was far ahead of its time. The mystery spreads to the tunics, as they were dyed with a synthetic Han-purple compound that required a firing temperature of up to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit to create. Can you believe the existence of a 12,000-year-old structure in Turkey called Göbekli Tepe, considered humanity's first temple? This unusual prehistoric architectural complex includes many rough stone walls arranged in circles around giant T-shaped pillars standing 20 feet tall. On the surfaces of the massive stone pillars are countless wild Ice Age animals carved in vivid and intricate relief. These exposed monolithic stone sculptures were shaped entirely with primitive tools, revealing artistic skill far beyond ordinary imagination. The largest stone block in this complex weighs up to 50 tons, equal to the weight of 10 adult African elephants combined. This mysterious ancient temple appeared before the Roman Colosseum and is even older than the Egyptian pyramids. This legendary spiritual complex marks the moment humans gathered together and laid the first foundation stone for civilization. Deep in the arid Nubian desert stands a sandstone wonder that can manipulate sunlight in a completely surreal way. The ancient Abu Simbel temple possesses an astronomical precision so exact that the dawn rays penetrate the heart of the mountain only twice a year. On these two unique days, the light travels deep for exactly 200 feet to illuminate three gods, but leaves the god of darkness permanently in the shadows. This strange alignment from 3,300 years ago turned this structure into an unprecedented giant historical clock of mankind. These inexplicable phenomena, along with the hollow cave geological structures underneath, continue to stimulate scientists to explore the next mystery. Aramu Muru stands as a towering red rock formation about 23 feet high, featuring a mysterious square doorway carved deeply into the mountain without leading to any interior chamber. This remarkable structure displays perfectly symmetrical carvings of exceptional precision, appearing to have been created with techniques far beyond the capabilities of simple ancient tools. The red stone possesses an unusually smooth surface, inspiring scientific theories about advanced construction methods never documented within any accepted historical records. The central stone structure stands entirely isolated across a vast plateau, carrying enduring legends that it may open a gateway leading toward another mysterious hidden world. Researchers still cannot determine the precise age of Aramu Muru, leaving this extraordinary monument to challenge humanity's understanding of the world's earliest ancient civilizations. Lake Karachay once contained more than 4,440 quadrillion becquerels of radioactive material, about 80 times greater than the total radioactive release from Japan's 2011 nuclear disaster. Simply standing beside this lake for 60 minutes could expose an average person to enough radiation to cause a fatal outcome within only a few short weeks. Radioactive sediment buried beneath the lake reaches a thickness of about 10 feet, enough to overwhelm and severely damage even the most advanced scientific measuring equipment available today. Using this lake as a disposal site for waste from a nuclear weapons program represented a devastating trade-off between military power and the lives of nearby communities. This place stands as the strongest indictment of humanity's misuse of nature in the name of scientific progress, creating one of the world's most dangerous forbidden landscapes. Hidden deep within the jungle, the vertical cave of Swallow's Sinkhole is a massive geological scar that fills anyone who sees it with both fear and amazement. Its unusual upside-down funnel shape, with a huge chamber much wider than the narrow opening above, has isolated a mysterious underground world for millions of years. At the dark bottom of the cave, where sunlight never reaches, life continues to thrive because of a thick organic layer built from the droppings and remains of countless generations of swallows. This hidden world supports unique blind creatures with colorless bodies that have fully adapted to an extreme environment where sunlight is completely unnecessary. Even more remarkable is the breathtaking optical phenomenon that appears at midday, when a beam of sunlight shines straight through the cave mist and forms a dense pillar of light with an almost magical appearance. This enormous column of light seems like a spiritual bridge connecting the world above with the underground realm, briefly illuminating the silent darkness before the cave returns to its natural blackness. Imagine standing in the freezing Hessdalen Valley of Norway, where scientists have spent more than 40 years trying without success to explain the giant plasma spheres that mysteriously dance beneath the northern lights. These mysterious lights often change color from bluish-white to bright red, can reach a diameter of up to 98 feet, and move through the sky in complete silence. The powerful magnetic disturbances in the valley have even caused migrating birds to completely lose their sense of direction and suddenly disappear from radar screens while flying overhead. The combination of ghostly neon mist, the northern lights, and mysterious glowing fireballs has transformed this remote valley into a one-of-a-kind theater of light. The Great Sphinx of Giza, monolithic limestone block weighing 44 million pounds, preserves incredibly strange, deep, wavy erosion furrows. The most remarkable point is that these traces were created by prolonged heavy rains, proving the structure has existed since the Ice Age. That unique geological phenomenon directly pushes the age of the Great Sphinx of Giza deep into the past, completely overturning orthodox history. The anomaly also lies in the distinct stratified structure, where the solid stone head contrasts with the heavily eroded body. Beneath the two front paws measuring 240 feet long, modern radar equipment has detected multiple large voids and mysterious tunnel systems. This entire grand monument is currently destroying itself from within, due to a sweating phenomenon caused by underground crystalline salt layers. In the heart of an arid desert, stretching about 40 square miles, Bagan reveals a surreal landscape with more than 2,200 ancient towers rising with ultimate density. This place harbors a major archaeological mystery, as millions of bricks were stacked hundreds of feet high without using any bonding mortar layer. The perfect cohesion between the bare brick surfaces is so smooth that the naked eye cannot fit a single small hair into the crevices. Enduring nearly 1,000 years with hundreds of violent earthquakes, the vaulted structure and low center of gravity of the stupa towers still stand miraculously. The strangeness continues inside the dark main halls, where ancient engineers calculated precisely to create a natural surround sound amplification system. When there is chanting in the center, the sound automatically echoes throughout the deep corridors. But if you stand in the corner and whisper, the noise is completely eliminated. This sacred land continuously challenges modern scientists in deciphering the spatial geometric thinking and peak construction technology from a millennium ago. Lake Natron's harshness comes from its extremely high mineral salt concentration, turning the water into a natural chemical trap capable of preserving and hardening exposed body tissues. The lake originates from nearby volcanoes, supplying abundant sodium carbonate, creating a chemical environment that preserves animal remains until they resemble solid limestone statues. The lake's vivid red color results from the rapid growth of billions of salt-loving microorganisms, forming a spectacular crimson veil stretching across the remarkable landscape. The water is so densely saline that swimming becomes nearly impossible, while its surface always feels slick and unpleasant, resembling an industrial chemical solution. Along the shoreline, brilliant white skeletons lie perfectly still beneath thin layers of salt, resembling carefully displayed sculptures inside an extraordinary museum of preserved remains. Cracked sheets of dried salt form remarkably regular hexagonal patterns, covering the lake like enormous dragon scales resting silently across the surrounding barren landscape. Although deadly to most forms of life, the lake serves as the world's largest nursery for lesser flamingos, where they breed safely beyond the reach of predators. Deep in the wild forests of Sri Lanka, the ancient capital of Anuradhapura amazes the world with a surreal irrigation system that challenges all limits of contemporary thinking. Ancient engineers constructed a water canal spanning over 50 miles with an incredibly sophisticated slope, measuring a mere 6 inches per mile throughout its initial stretch. This near-perfect elevation variance presents a complex topographical surveying puzzle, demanding absolute precision that even modern technical equipment struggles to achieve. The timeless accuracy of this hydrodynamic network has transformed the entire ancient stone city into an architectural mass that naturally resonates with a vibrating sound like a bronze bell. Mount Roraima is an ancient geological giant, about 2 billion years old, rising majestically above the surrounding landscape as an enduring witness to Earth's earliest beginnings. The mountain's summit forms a maze of dark gray sandstone, strangely sculpted by erosion, creating bizarre rock formations resembling a fossilized graveyard of forgotten giants. The sandstone contains scattered natural quartz crystals that sparkle across the surface, forming a raw geological treasure patiently concealed by nature for millions of countless years. The The summit ecosystem remains completely isolated from the outside world, where unusual pitcher plants evolved to capture insects for survival within the nutrient-poor soil. Tiny black frogs living atop the mountain cannot jump, instead moving slowly on foot like mysterious creatures wandering from some distant and unfamiliar hidden dimension. Countless deep sinkholes across the rocky plateau descend into cave systems that have never been fully explored, standing as silent gateways within this mysterious, forgotten world. The Kali meteorite crater is like a scar from space, surrounded by a massive limestone wall stretching 1,540 feet around an unusually round lake, formed by the impact of an 88-ton meteorite that created a group of 9 craters of different sizes. The ancient impact, with a force equal to 20 kilotons of TNT, shattered the flat rock layers and pushed the limestone beds upward into a perfect 90-degree angle, forming the steep cliffs that surround the lake today. Built on top of these steep cliffs stands a strong defensive wall, 10 feet thick, yet it contains no signs of daily human life, suggesting that it may have been used only to seal off sacred spiritual forces believed to exist within. Hidden behind this wall, the emerald green lake has continued to maintain a stable water level because the extreme heat from the impact melted the surrounding rocks into a waterproof glass, like ceramic layer. This unusual water-holding structure, together with countless iron-nickel fragments buried beneath the ancient mud filled with sacrificial bones, has continuously produced powerful magnetic fields that can bend the direction of nearby compasses. Would you dare to walk along the narrow path through the ancient oak forest and carefully descend the rough stone steps to witness this silent crater with your own eyes? Suspended along the edge of the wild Gulf of Mexico, the mysterious fishing village of Cocodri is quietly disappearing from the world map as the land sinks at an astonishing rate. Its greatest mystery is the incredible speed of land loss, with this wetland losing an area equal to 1 football field in less than 100 minutes. While scientists continue to debate whether this extreme land sinking is caused by ancient geological faults or oil and gas extraction, the landscape has already turned into a gray graveyard of dead cypress trees. As the boundary between land and water continues to disappear, Every house in the village must be built on wooden stilts, rising as high as 20 feet above the water. Even the strong Lumcon Research Center is supported by 800 concrete piles driven 120 feet deep into the soft mud so that it can continue operating even if it eventually becomes surrounded by the sea. This danger became clear when Hurricane Ida swept through the region, destroying the barrier islands and reshaping the coastline in just one night. Powerful reverse currents carry dense salt water from the bottom of the Gulf into the shallow waterways, creating strange whistling sounds through the reeds and turning this place into a world that continues to challenge science. Known as one of the greatest geological mysteries of the Pacific Ocean, the Kaimanawa Wall stands deep within the forests of New Zealand, with perfectly straight lines that appear to have been created by a forgotten advanced civilization. A great debate began when many people believed it was an ancient man-made structure, but geologists uncovered the truth through careful examination with optical microscopes. Their remarkable discovery revealed that the tiny bumps and grooves on both sides of the cracks match perfectly, proving that the wall was once a single rock mass that split apart because of thermal stress about 330,000 years ago. Nature shaped the rock so precisely that even a thin knife blade cannot fit through the gaps, which are smaller than 0.04 inches between these massive stone blocks. On top of this 4-foot-high rock formation, the huge roots of ancient trees weave through the cracks, creating an unusual partnership where the trees support the rocks, while the rocks help anchor the trees against powerful storms. The quiet struggle between lifeless volcanic rock and living nature has turned this place into a constantly changing landscape that seems almost alive. This magnificent rock formation continues to stand proudly through the passage of time, hiding deep secrets beneath the ground and waiting for the next brave travelers to discover them. Boiling Lake measures about 200 feet across, roughly the size of an Olympic swimming pool, while constantly remaining in a violent state of boiling, driven by heat from deep beneath Earth. This lake is actually a massive volcanic vent, continuously forcing hazardous gases toward the surface under tremendous pressure, creating an environment both powerful and deeply threatening. The unpredictable water level can suddenly recede into a barren gray mud pit before mysteriously filling again within only a few nights, astonishing everyone who witnesses the transformation. The concentration of acid and dissolved sulfur is so extreme that it can rapidly corrode even durable human-made materials after only a single direct exposure. The lake continually changes color from bluish-gray to cloudy white, revealing dangerous geological activity unfolding quietly beneath the seemingly restless surface of the water. The shoreline remains completely barren of vegetation, leaving only scorched gray cliffs marked by intense heat and vividly stained with colorful mineral deposits. Would you dare to witness this cauldron of the underworld, where ancient natural forces continue moving without pause, while concealing some of Earth's deepest and most mysterious secrets? In the mist-covered temperate forests of New England, Mystery Hill appears as a mysterious stone maze with dry stone chambers that can naturally expand and contract to withstand freezing winters without using a single drop of mortar. Its most unusual feature is a hollow stone sound channel that connects the dark underground directly to a sacrificial altar weighing 9,000 pounds above, creating an extraordinary system that carries and echoes human voices. Many people believe this mechanical design was used by ancient priests as a clever trick to make their voices seem supernatural and strengthen their authority over the tribe. This mystery has led many visitors to admit that they often hear unexplained whispers and experience the powerful feeling that an unseen presence is watching them from the darkness. The site has also been rumored to be a meeting point of mysterious energy lines, where unusual magnetic disturbances are said to occur near the entrance of the underground chambers. These weathered gray stone walls covered with moss continue to challenge scientists, standing as a remarkable record of many layers of history and culture, while guarding countless mysteries that remain unsolved. The Bosnian pyramids conceal geometric structures whose flat surfaces align with remarkable precision to the cardinal directions, suggesting an enormous artificial construction hidden beneath the surrounding valley. Scientific analyses indicate the outer layer contains an exceptionally durable inorganic binding material, with strength estimated at about 5 times greater than ordinary construction concrete. Modern measuring instruments have detected an unusual beam of energy emerging from the summit of the largest structure, with a measured diameter of about 15 feet. Beneath more than 33 feet of soil and rock lies an extensive tunnel network stretching for several miles, connecting vast chambers like underground veins hidden deep below the surface. These enormous structures appear with remarkably smooth surfaces, carefully fitted together like pieces of an ancient puzzle, challenging conventional understanding of engineering and construction techniques. The enduring mystery lies in the orderly arrangement of these massive stone blocks, standing in striking contrast to the chaotic patterns normally created by Earth's ancient natural geology. Beneath the scorching sand of the Valley of the Kings in Egypt, a massive labyrinth of tombs containing astonishing archaeological mysteries continues to defy contemporary science. The most bizarre feature of this royal cemetery is the summit of Al-Qurn, a 1,378-foot mountain possessing the shape of a perfect natural pyramid. Instead of constructing costly man-made wonders, the ancient pharaohs selected this unique terrain as a sacred symbol to protect their eternal sleep. The difference also lies in the underground architectural system dug deep into the arid limestone mountain to completely camouflage with the desert outside. Despite enduring over 3,500 years of history, the environment with nearly 0% humidity here has frozen time, helping preserve royal mummies intact. In particular, the brilliantly colored murals, painted with natural minerals, still maintain their freshness, as if they were just completed yesterday. The absolute silence of this naturally soundproof land further heightens the mystical aura, opening the gateway leading to the next mysteries. Have you ever imagined that our planet is home to a strange place like Valle de Lua, where local people lovingly call it the giant Swiss cheese because of its unusually symmetrical rock holes? Located exactly at 14 degrees south latitude, this remarkable place is actually a gigantic quartz formation that is 1,800,000,000 years old and contains mysterious magnetic faults that scientists still cannot explain. Under the sunlight, its dense quartz crystals act like a giant parabolic mirror, constantly reflecting powerful beams of light that have surprised satellites in orbit. However, The feature that has made this place truly famous is the strange underground water system of the São Miguel River. Along a section about 0.6 miles long, the river suddenly plunges into deep cracks and completely disappears into a mysterious maze of underground caves beneath the dry rock surface. Even more frightening, the enormous pressure beneath the ground can suddenly trigger reverse flash floods that shoot water straight out of the round rock holes as high as 15 feet in only 60 seconds. Researchers are still searching for an explanation for this unusual phenomenon, because digital compasses continue to lose their direction in strange and unpredictable ways. Serpent Mound stretches about 1,300 feet in the form of a gracefully winding serpent, becoming one of the greatest earthen monuments ever created by an ancient civilization. The monument's intricate geometric design aligns perfectly with important astronomical markers, revealing an extraordinary understanding of celestial movements possessed by its mysterious ancient builders. Thousands of tons of clay and stone were tightly compacted into the serpent's enduring body, allowing the monument to preserve its remarkable shape for thousands of years without any binding material. Archaeologists have found no household objects or human remains inside the earthwork, strengthening the theory that it served as a sacred ceremonial site with purely spiritual significance. Its location beside the rim of an ancient meteor impact crater has inspired scientific discussions about the possible existence of unusual magnetic energy surrounding the remarkable landscape. Archaeologists continue debating the true builders of this extraordinary monument, making Serpent Mound a silent book that challenges every modern understanding of the world's earliest civilizations. Isolated amid the stony valley of Lebanon, the ancient architectural complex of Baalbek leaves anyone who visits in sheer astonishment due to its unrealistic scale. The greatest mystery lies in the foundation, which features monoliths carved perfectly square, with a weight exceeding 3.3 million pounds. Despite lacking mechanical vehicles, ancient people successfully moved these megastone blocks and placed them in absolute alignment. Many geological theories suggest that the smooth, flawless stone surfaces resulted from a chemical processing technique that softened the raw material. This perfection in mortarless construction has protected the structure, allowing it to stand firm through a series of violent earthquakes over many millennia. The massive underground tunnel system beneath the surface further heightens the mystery, turning this place into a highly controversial archaeological matrix. The entire colossal complex continues to challenge orthodox historical theories with the proud silence of its thousand-year-old stone walls. Amidst the desolate desert, the Palmyra ruins appear like a surreal mirage, with the phenomenon of rocks glowing intensely pink every time the sun sets. This mysterious pink hue emerges thanks to the unique geological characteristics of the limestone containing special minerals that was quarried a few miles away. The dramatic contrast between the shimmering stone color and the green date palm forest stretching across hundreds of acres creates an incredibly unusual landscape. The difficult thing to explain is that this oasis completely depends on an underground spring source that contains a very high sulfur content and remains warm all year round. Research by experts shows that an ancient irrigation system running underground for miles effectively helped distribute this water source in a perfect way. Until now, modern satellite radar technology has not yet fully understood the complex operation of the terracotta pipeline network under desert pressure conditions. The combination of the magical color-changing phenomenon and the mysterious hydrological structure has turned this land into an unsolved archaeological puzzle. Amidst the silent semi-desert of Iran, an ancient stone forest reigning on an artificial terrace of over 1,340,000 square feet holds archaeological mysteries that remain unsolved. This colossal foundation was constructed backing into a natural mountain cliff, creating a majestic topography that contrasts sharply with the surrounding desert space. The most unique feature that puzzles scientists is the mortarless stone joining technique, where stone blocks weighing tens of tons were chiseled to fit together perfectly. Thanks to a system of iron and flexible lead metal joints inside the stone structure, this grand monument has stood firm through a series of major earthquakes for over 2,500 years. More strangely, Hidden deep beneath the solid stone layers is a labyrinthine network of underground drains carved directly into the bedrock before the palaces above were even formed. The appearance of this highly complex ancient irrigation system remains a major puzzle for hydrological experts to this day. As dusk falls, the 65-foot-tall stone columns are dyed in a brilliant reddish-orange hue, moving viewers into a cinematic space full of illusion and mystery. Leaving behind the legendary stone capital of the ancient Persians, the journey to discover mystical lands will continue to take us to an even more haunting coordinate. Tassili N'Ajjer is a vast open-air museum of prehistoric art containing more than 15,000 rock paintings, preserving priceless cultural records from before humanity developed written language. These remarkable paintings vividly portray mysterious, giant, human-like figures with perfectly round heads, inspiring enduring speculation about possible visitors from beyond Earth in the distant past. The rock paintings also depict scenes of hunting, dancing, and herding livestock, recreating a flourishing society from the era when this desert was covered with expansive grasslands. Many ancient paintings remain undiscovered because they lie hidden within remote and rugged canyons, as though this extraordinary land deliberately guards humanity's oldest and greatest secrets. Hidden deep beneath Guilin, Reed Flute Cave is not only a geological wonder, but also a place filled with amazing optical illusions that began when this landscape formed on the floor of an ancient ocean 180 million years ago. In the quiet underground lake, the perfectly still and crystal-clear water acts like a giant mirror, creating a flawless reflection of the brightly colored cave ceiling above. This remarkable optical effect completely deceives the human eye, making visitors feel as though they are standing above a bottomless abyss and experiencing the sensation of weightlessness. The perfect calmness of the underground lake is maintained by the thick limestone mountain, which blocks the effects of weather changes and powerful winds from the surface. Even more surprising, more than 70 ancient inscriptions written with traditional Chinese ink in the year 792 have remained perfectly preserved on the damp cave walls, where water has slowly dripped for centuries. As the mineral-rich groundwater seeps through the rock, it quickly evaporates because of natural air circulation, accidentally forming a calcium carbonate layer less than 0.01 inches thick that protects the ancient writing. The perfect combination of natural geological processes and historical treasures forgotten for more than 800 years has turned this dark underground world into a priceless vault of time. You will surely be amazed by Coral Castle, a magnificent monument built from massive stone blocks by human hands that still holds many mysteries no one has fully explained. The center of attention is its rotating gate, weighing 18,000 pounds, a masterpiece of engineering with perfect balance. This incredible achievement was created by Edward Leeds Calman, who weighed only 100 pounds and single-handedly carved 2,200,000 pounds of stone over 28 years. Built without using any mortar, the structure proved its remarkable strength by remaining completely intact after Category 5 Hurricane Andrew in 1992. His brilliant planning is also shown by a stone telescope weighing 60,000 pounds that is permanently aligned with the North Star. Sadly, after moving the entire castle by truck in 1936, the man quietly passed away in 1951, leaving behind only a short note saying, "I am going to the hospital," and a legacy filled with mystery and wonder for humanity. Hidden within a vast tropical valley, Gunung Padang has shocked the global archaeological community with the hypothesis that it may be the oldest pyramid on Earth. The surface of this enormous structure is covered with thousands of basalt volcanic stone columns, naturally formed into hexagonal prisms and stacked upon one another. Results from drilling hundreds of feet beneath the ground suggest that the deepest architectural foundation may have been formed more than 20,000 years ago. The most unusual and unique feature is that some of the stone blocks possess extremely strong magnetic properties or are capable of producing metallic echoing sounds. The entire archaeological complex was intentionally aligned in a perfectly straight orientation toward the majestic active Gedi volcano on the distant horizon. Deep within Earth's mysterious realms, the ruins of the Sanxingdui civilization abruptly emerged, to overturn all conventional human understanding. At this site, archaeologists discovered giant bronze masks possessing eyes with cylindrical pupils protruding forward up to 11.8 inches. This bizarre facial structure, with large bat-like ears and a sharp nose, is completely foreign to Asian biological features. Researchers suggest that this unusual Sanxingdui imagery might depict a legendary king who possessed the divine power to see through space. The mystery deepens because the entire ancient population suddenly vanished around 1100 BC without leaving behind a single line of text. The entire thousand-year treasure, intentionally smashed and burned underground, remains raw evidence of a fierce sacrificial ritual. What do you think about a brilliant band of light floating above the wild Texas desert known as the Marfa Lights, where mysterious glowing orbs dance through the night without giving off even the slightest amount of heat? For generations, the Apache people have believed these lights are the spirit of a great chief who was killed and still wanders the desert carrying a torch while searching for his tribe. Most astonishing of all, historical records from 1883 describe this phenomenon before the first automobile was invented, completely challenging the idea that the lights are only reflections from vehicle headlights. Prepare yourself for the next journey, where we will explore another mysterious place in which the laws of nature seem to be completely turned upside down. Devil's Kettle is a fascinating geological mystery where a river splits into two, and one half of its enormous flow plunges into a rocky hole before disappearing without a trace. This unusual rock hole is made entirely of extremely hard volcanic rhyolite, a type of rock that cannot naturally dissolve to form underground water-filled cave systems. Even though the rushing water pours into the deep hole at a flow rate of about 123 cubic feet per second, the rock structure has never become blocked throughout centuries. Many scientists believe that the tremendous water pressure below acts like a natural crusher, tearing everything apart into incredibly tiny pieces. Even so, finding the exact location of the underground tunnel remains an unanswered question, because the dark tannin-stained foaming water constantly destroys exploration cameras. Despite humanity's most advanced sonar surveys, this giant stone kettle continues to keep the true layout of its underground structure hidden in darkness. What terrifying secrets might the underground world beneath this place still be hiding, that even our most advanced technology has not yet been able to uncover? Loltun Cave, whose name means flower stone in the ancient Maya language, conceals a mysterious underground world, preserving 10,000 years of human history. This vast underground system was formed as water gradually dissolved porous limestone, creating enormous stalactite and stalagmite columns with diameters exceeding 10 feet. The most remarkable feature of this cave is its hollow stone columns, which produce powerful echoing sounds that can travel hundreds of feet underground when struck. Through openings in the cave ceiling, roots from the tropical forest penetrate the rock walls and hang down for dozens of feet in search of fresh water below. Human presence is revealed through ancient religious murals and numerous red negative handprints placed directly onto the limestone walls. Hoia Baciu Forest in Romania has become deeply unsettling because of countless reports of supernatural phenomena and unexplained disappearances. The forest's mystery is reflected in thousands of tree trunks that are strangely twisted into spiral shapes, all turning in the same clockwise direction. Even after analyzing soil samples, scientists around the world have still been unable to identify any physical cause that explains this unusual phenomenon. Upon entering the forest, many otherwise healthy visitors have suddenly experienced unexplained nausea, dizziness, and intense feelings of anxiety. In addition, electronic devices and cameras frequently suffer from signal interference or suddenly lose power for reasons that remain difficult to explain. All of these unexplained anomalies have turned this forest into one of the world's most important centers for the study of paranormal phenomena. Welcome to Krubera Cave, the deepest cave on Earth, often called an upside-down Mount Everest, hidden behind a narrow entrance in the rugged western Caucasus Mountains that is only wide enough for one person to squeeze through. Extending straight down to a record depth of 7,208 feet, this geological wonder overwhelms explorers with endless darkness and air pressure that becomes so intense it can cause severe hallucinations. The freezing water rushes through ancient rock filters that formed over millions of years, turning the entire cave into a slowly moving system that continues to challenge the limits of modern geological research. Once you cross into this dark, flooded underground world, everything seems completely different, reminding us that our planet still holds untouched places that have never truly been explored. The forgotten Giroft civilization remained completely lost until the year 2000, when a devastating flood eroded the ground and revealed this ancient city. Located at an elevation of 2,000 feet, this ancient city features enormous mud brick platform structures with foundations covering more than 900 acres. Its most remarkable feature is thousands of dark chlorite stone vessels carved with intricate animal motifs and decorated with exceptionally fine gemstone inlays. The inhabitants of this city independently created a writing system based on geometric symbols that science has still been unable to decipher. These extraordinary stone masterpieces were once luxury export goods, transported across thousands of miles to serve the elite of the ancient world. This entire commercial center flourished in the middle of a harsh environment, where summer temperatures regularly exceeded 120 degrees Fahrenheit.